Hello, hello, hello. How y'all doing? Hello, hello. Good morning, good morning. Hey Dawn, how you doing? Happy Monday. How y'all doing? I'm just I'm getting ready to get started. I just wanted to give a few minutes cuz I've had so many people say you never tell us when you're going live, so I did put it in my stories. How y'all doing? How was y'all weekend? Did y'all practice social distancing? We're going to talk a little bit about that today and just really want to encourage you. I know a lot of people did not get a chance to go to church yesterday, and that was a big shift for a lot of people, just the idea that they couldn't go if they wanted to. I know a lot of people feel very uncertain and very uncomfortable in these uncertain times. Excuse me, y'all. and I just felt like for those of us who have a voice, we have to share and we have to use our voice. What's up, Coach? And be a blessing to others. So I am Adelai Brown, your heart coach. And as a heart coach, I work with individuals to confront matters of the heart so that they can live authentically on purpose. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I have been praying for everybody, and hey BG, hey y'all, how y'all doing? And I just wanted to go live today. I've been meaning to go live. How y'all doing with social distancing? How was y'all weekend? Is everybody experiencing cabin fever? I know some people are still working. That's just the way it is. But I wanted to get on today and just encourage you to not be distracted by what's going on. I understand that it's serious. I understand that we do have a global pandemic going on, but I feel like many of us are unsettled in our souls, and I feel like a lot of people aren't able to be honest about that because they don't want people to know they're afraid or they're worried or they're concerned. I know a lot of us are having shifts in our employment and the way that we're able to earn income. So this pandemic is really impacting us in our pockets. And not to mention the fact that though many of us spend a lot of time on social media, we feel very distant and very disconnected from others. So in times like this, when you can't get out and you can't go to parties and movies, awesome, Lori, I'm glad you're doing well. Good morning, Tanya. How you doing? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm talking. I didn't even see the comments y'all were putting in here. Good morning. Good morning. Peachy, why you got the little crying face? You okay? I'm glad you're doing well, Lori. Tanya, kiss CJ for me. But I wanted to get on today because I've been reading in the book of Acts, and I've been reading the 21st Psalm, and not 21st Psalm, the 121st Psalm, and then the 24th Psalm, and then the 91st Psalm. And I just feel like faith over fear, exactly, Peachy. I just feel like for those of us, especially those of us who are in Christ, those of us that say that we're believers and we've accepted Christ as our Savior, we have to understand that now that church doors are closed, that we have to be the church. And all of those things that you said you believe is one thing to say you believe something, but your actions will show what you really believe. And so in these times, I really wanted to challenge you to look at your actions to see what are you really believing. You know, simple things like, are you washing your hands, right? Are you being respectful of others? Are you not going to people's houses and just staying where you need to be unless you have to be there? Just be respectful of what's going on. Don't make somebody have to tell you, I don't want you to come in my house. Just don't go. I've been hearing that a lot lately. People have been having company coming over and people calling, I'm going to stop by. And they're like, no, we're social distancing. Stay where you are, right? But that's the physical thing. We understand that. Those things the news is telling us all the time. We get that. But what I wanted to talk about is how there are many of us who stay busy because we don't want to deal with our issues. We don't want to deal with our doubts. We don't want to deal with our fears. We don't want to deal with our worries. We don't want to deal with our pains. And it's time for you to do that. And if you thought that it wasn't important, and if you thought that it wasn't something that you needed to do, well, look, God shut the whole world down. And I've been seeing that meme go around. Good morning. I've been seeing that meme go around quite a bit, where it says, God shut everything down for you. There's not, I know so many people, well, I would, sit down and really work on that, but I don't have time. Bless you. I don't have time. I have to go take care of this person. I have to go do this, and I have to go to this place. And I have been that person. I get it. Anytime I don't have time to sit still and work on me, I know I'm running from something. Right? And so many of us are taking time. I just uploaded a video on my YouTube page. And if y'all are not subscribed to my YouTube page, please subscribe to my YouTube page. I will put the link in this comment so y'all can do it. But it's at The Heart Connections on YouTube. But I just put up a video about how well do you know yourself. And I feel like for many of us, not being able to go to work, not being able to send the kids to school, not even being able to run the church and hide in the church, because some of us are so busy in the church, we're not busy in getting to know us and get to know our lives and get to know who we are. And I feel like this is the time to figure out what's triggering you. Right? What's causing you to feel the way you feel? Why are you still angry with the people you're angry with? Why are you holding these grudges? Why are you doing these things? Right? All of these, like, why are you still hanging with people who don't mean you any well? Why are you you say it's you, PG? Oh gosh, it's a lot of us. I'm glad that you're telling the truth, because that helps other people have courage in figuring this out, right? But why do you stay busy all the time? I feel sorry for my sisters and brothers in the healthcare industry who are dealing with these same issues, because for them and other industries, they're still busy. So it's not like they have this downtime. But for us who do, one, we need to be praying for them. And number two, we need to be journaling. We need to be, I know we can't go out and be in like social settings. Sit under a tree someplace. Good morning, Tamara. Good morning, Zelda. Sit under a tree someplace, right? Sit in the grass. Get a little blanket. Sit outside. I know some people's like, that's weird. I haven't done that since I was a kid. Exactly. And what else haven't you done since you were a kid, when that thing happened to you or when you experienced that situation? And then you look back and say, wow, I haven't had this type of fun since then, or I haven't talked to that person since this, because that happened to you and it rocked your world. It shifted your trajectory. And I feel like this is, as a heart coach, some of you know what I do, some of you don't know what I do, but I'm a life coach who focuses on matters of the heart. And I do speaking and mentoring. I coach people individually in group programs. We do workshops and events and all of those things. But all of that came from me having to really stop one day and say, you know what, you going to church and you reading your Bible, but you a hypocrite, right? I was going to church, reading my Bible. A lot of y'all used to get my inspirational text messages that I sent out every day for like 9 years. But I did not like my mom. I didn't like my dad. And I had a problem with them. Good morning, everybody that's coming in. Y'all share this with anybody y'all think could benefit from what we're talking about. And if you can relate to anything that I'm saying, please let me know. I have much respect for our healthcare professionals. My prayers with those who are affected too. Exactly. Our prayers are with everyone who are affected by this coronavirus directly or indirectly. But like I was saying, I started this whole journey because I saw the hypocrisy in my own life. And let me just say, we all going to have some level of hypocrisy in our lives. That's just the way things are. Good morning, Bubba. How you doing? And but for me, I saw not justifying anything. It is what it is. That's why we need a Savior. That's why I'm encouraging you. If you don't know Christ, draw near to Him. And I'm going to get back to that. But I was doing all of those encouraging things and helping everybody and uplifting them and doing well in my professional career, checking off the boxes in life, getting to where I needed to be. But when it came to the core of who I wasn't right. I was shaky. right? I was not being honest with myself. I'm saying things like I'm okay when I'm not okay. I'm saying things like, oh, that doesn't bother me when it really does bother me. I've been doing a lot of research on how when we hold on to pain and trauma, we lie and we dishonor ourselves when we say, I'm okay when you're not okay. Right? We dishonor ourselves. But when other people do it, when other people lie to us and don't tell us the truth, it's a terrible thing. But we do it to ourselves every day, and it's acceptable. No, it's not. It's not acceptable. And so we have to be the change that we want to see. So while we're in this season of our lives, that's why I got to heart coaching, because I had to become the change I wanted to see. I do heart talk every Monday night at 9:15 because I wanted a space like that. I wanted a space that would tie the Bible into my everyday life to help me see, how can I live right? How can I do right? How can I get from A to B, and honor and not dishonor myself, and not get home and feel like, man, I should have said more, or maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have blown up the way that I did. Good morning, Miss Libby. And I just, good morning, Rochelle, Tracy, how y'all doing? I just got tired of me. I got tired of the me that I thought I was supposed to be. And I wanted to find out about the me that I know I'm supposed to be. So I feel like for many of us, as children, we watch how the adults around us act and behave. So we many times formulate our personality to fit whomever we're around. Many of us have soft and sensitive areas and triggers in our lives, and we don't even realize it came from things that happened when we were younger. If your mother was a stickler about not wearing socks at a certain time, you might flip out and act crazy in your house with your kids and be very mean to them about socks when that was just something your mother did. You don't have to do that. And many of us are like that. Many of us are carrying on. Good morning, Coach. Many of us are carrying on unhealthy relationship patterns. It's like a family pathology, right? If there's dysfunction, if there's like domestic violence and we never address it, well, I beat her because my daddy used to beat my mama. Okay, yes, we understand that's trauma, but now let's go back and look and say, how can I handle this better? I don't have to do what he did. I don't have to follow that path. And for many of us, we get that when we talk about things like domestic violence, but what about when we talk about overworking? What about when we talk about people pleasing? What about when we talk about not going after our dreams and our goals like we've watched others do as well? And at some point in time, we're going to have to break out of that. And we have to be willing to show up. And that's a part of healing. A lot of people say, I don't have time for all that. I don't have time to be, looking back at those things. But you want your life to be happy right now. But you want things to work out for you right now, right? You want things to go in your favor right now, but you don't have time to do the work that's required. And see, that's another thing. I was just talking to one of my clients about this, and I said, because when I work with people, I'm like, look, are you going to let me coach you or not? Because I know you're not going to like a lot of the things I'm going to have to say, but I'm not here for you to like it. I'm here to help you get to the goal that you're trying to reach, right? And so, good morning, Tannis, Nikki, Serona, how y'all doing? So what we have to do is we have to be willing to do those things we don't want to do. I was researching successful people, however you want to define the success, how I define success, those people who are living their lives fully in things that they really enjoy. And one of the biggest things they said is you have to get used to doing things you don't want to do. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Y'all do me a favor. Share this video with anyone you think that could benefit from it. Do me that favor, please. You have to be willing to do things you don't want to do. So what does that mean? Some of y'all are sitting home right now. Hey, Chrissy. Hey, Paige. Sometimes y'all gonna have to text that family member that maybe you don't mess with like that, check in on them. You can't go see them. It's not like y'all can meet up right now. Nobody's supposed to be doing that, right? So, maybe you need to go through that pile of mail that's been sitting in the corner for the last 3 months that you don't want to open because you don't have the money to pay the bill anyway. Go through it. Figure out what's happening in your life right now. Don't let those underlying things start to control you and keep you stuck where you don't need to be. What they say, you cannot heal with what you won't reveal. Right? You can't heal what you won't reveal. Right? So if you've been playing a mind game and being manipulative because you've been trying to get back at somebody because how they made you feel, stop playing that game. Just let them know, hey, what you did to me really hurt my feelings, and I'm having trouble bouncing back from that. But I'm going to get over it, and I'm going to pray for you and keep it moving. You're going to have to let people go. Hey, Tyson, how you doing? You're going to have to let people go, and you're going to have to let yourself off the hook. I put in the link, you can download a copy of my ebook, Help Save Me from My Broken Heart, Your Journey to Living and Loving Again. It's a wonderful book. It's not a very long read, but it is definitely something that will rock your life at the core. And that's not me saying that. That's me. How did you see my pile of mail? Tyson, I know that pile of mail because I just got rid of mine. How you doing? But the book it takes you through the process of a divine heart transplant, a spiritual heart transplant. A lot of our hearts are clogged and backed up, and that's why we're experiencing physical health issues from the emotional, spiritual, and mental things, that the traumas that have been held up in our body and in our mind and just in our whole being. And so I have the ebook that you can download for $1. You could just download it for $1. You pay $1 and you get it. You click the link. Once you pay, you click the link at the bottom and you can download it. You can read it. Share it with your friend. Be a blessing to somebody. I just wanted to offer that because I've talked to a lot of ladies. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Mashika, Tamara, how y'all doing? I've talked to a lot of ladies and fellas who read the book and they're like, man, I didn't even know that issue was bothering me in my life. I didn't even know that situation was hindering me. Like, I didn't even realize I was still angry at my mother. I didn't even think I had daddy issues until I read your book. This is the feedback. So, Tannis, you can get it if you click the link that's on the live. It'll pull up right on your phone. You can read it there, send it to your email, download it. You can do whatever you want to do. It's just $1. Like, I'm no joking. I just have it on there for $1. I just felt like it's something that we can do to help and support one another. And I know this book is definitely going to change your life. It changed my life writing it. That book, my book, about talking about the experience I told you about, going to church all the time. I mean, I was teaching Sunday school, y'all, and wouldn't talk to my mama. And had attitude with my daddy. And a lot of people are like that and they justify it. And you can't justify that stuff. You got to deal with that. Mother's Day is coming up and I'm going to be dealing with a lot of that. Help save me. I don't like my mother. A lot of people do not have positive feelings when it comes to their mother. Me and my mom are in a beautiful place and I'm thankful for that. I also had to realize that we would have never gotten there if I didn't shift my expectations. And my expectations were jacked up because I was still hurting. And a lot of the pain that I had to confront was nothing. It had nothing to do with my mother. I had to unlearn the bad thing, the negative things that I learned, and then relearn something new. And many of us, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. But I bet you got time for it now. What else you got time to do? Right? And so instead of taking this time to go down a rabbit hole researching this celebrity and that person, why don't you research a class you wanted to take? Why don't you sit down and journal about why you're running from yourself? Sit down and look at, are your relationships working out? Look around your life. Do you need to do a tune-up in your soul and in your spirit? And if so, I can tell you, 1, my book will help you do that. And 2, pick up the good book, the best book, the Bible. That's the other thing I wanted to talk to y'all about today before we get off. I'm not going to stay on too long because I know how all of our attention spans can be. Thank you, Tasha. Girl, I appreciate that. I'm trying to keep up with a little shortcut. I've been reading Psalm 91 and Psalm 121 and Psalm 24, but the big thing that got me with Psalm 121 is that it says that I will look to the hills from which comes my help. My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. And it goes through, and matter of fact, y'all hold on, let me go get my Bible. I'll be right back. About that. Thank y'all for holding on. I appreciate y'all. I've been meaning to do this for a while. So thank y'all. We're gonna have a quick little Bible study real quick. I can't I just have to do this. I feel like we the church. We don't need to be in a building. This church. We having church real quick. So y'all can get back to y'all day and get back to healing. I know other people talking about stocks and other people talking about working out and we need to be doing all of that, right? We need to be focusing on all of that. But this is my point. If you're not sound in your mind and in your soul, in your spirit, then what good is it to have stocks? What good is it to be healthy? If you're physically healthy but mentally and emotionally sick, you're not able to be productive and be effective and do what you've been called to do. Excuse me, can I have a good morning hug? Oh, Christopher is taking advantage of the fact that his mama is off track. All the teachers don't get me. Tell everybody good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Did you brush your teeth and stuff?
No, I was just using the bathroom.
Okay, go do that, and then you can get back to what you need to do. All right, but Psalm 21, one of my favorite, passed down from my granny. Look to the hills. Exactly, look to the hills. All right, thank y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Thank y'all for coming in. Christopher was telling y'all good morning, but he had to go brush his teeth first. Anyways, teachers don't get me. We go get to school. Yeah, we start school at about 9:45. Anyway, all right. So Psalm 121. This is going to help you through this time of social distancing, right? My thing is, while we're practicing social distancing, let's also practice emotional honesty and spiritual intimacy, right? If you're socially distant from everyone and everything else, then what you should be doing is drawing closer to God. Listen, we are this enemy that is looming on us is not necessarily a physical enemy, right? This is a spirit. This is a pestilence, like the 91st Psalm talked about. This thing is floating around in the air, and it's on things that we touch. So that means you don't have guns that you can shoot to get rid of the coronavirus, right? So we have to trust God. And many people have put trust in everything else. You put your trust in your degree. You put your trust in your skills. You put your trust in your stocks. You put your trust in your real estate. You put your trust in everything else but God. And God is reclaiming this for us, right? God is letting us know you are not that important. I am important. Your agenda is not that important. When God shut down, you talking about my youngest daughter is a senior this year. And you talking about graduations might not be taking place. The NBA is shut down. No championship, no playoff season, no none of that. I'm talking the world, the way we know things have been really rocked to the core. You know, the Bible says that the days are going to come where the last shall be first and the first shall be last. It's finally come a day where people can give janitors and nurses, CNAs, the respect that they need because they are just as important as everybody else. But it took you being in this space to do that? Come on, y'all. We got to do better. And a lot of people, when I talk about God, the first thing they say, well, I don't really go to church. And, I don't know all that stuff. Let me tell y'all something. If you have breath in your body, you have a connection to God. And it's past time for all of this. Well, I don't do all that church stuff. I ain't a religious person. I'm spiritual. Let me tell you something. You better get right with God. Well, however that works for you, but you better get right with God because times are drawing near, and all of us have to find a way. And I realize that I've been studying and I've been growing. I have a lot to learn, but I also realize that there are a lot of people who don't feel like they can pick up this Bible. Yours don't have to be this big. You could pick up a Bible and really start to build a relationship with Christ for yourself. So I've been talking about all kind of stuff today, but that's really my biggest focus. I want you to heal. And you're probably like, how can I heal? I'm stuck in the house. When I met Jesus Christ, he came into my living room. I was in the house. by myself, crying. I felt like I was losing my mind. I know what people say when they feel like I'm losing it and I feel like I'm going crazy. And I did not even call on the name of Christ. I didn't even call on him. And he showed up in my heart, like in my living room. Like I knew I was not alone. There wasn't a physical being there, but I felt his presence, and that's how I know he's real. And I want all of us to experience that in social distancing. Let's be spiritual intimate. While we're socially pulling away, and let's be honest, God blessed you because many of y'all spend most of your time around people you don't even want to be around anyway. People that don't mean you any well. People who make you question and doubt yourself. You always have to be in competition with them. You have to be careful about what you say when you're around them. Why would you spend time with people like that? So you wouldn't distance yourself. You know why you spend time with people like that? Because you don't value yourself. When you start to love and value yourself, you're going to spend time around people who do the same for you. And that goes for relationships, that goes for workplaces, that goes for churches, that goes even in family relationships. Some people you have to love from a distance. But we have to have compassion for people and not just tolerate them. But that's another video. Let me get to the 121st Psalm. Y'all just don't know. I missed y'all. I'm excited that we're having this time. So 121st Psalm. This is especially for the people who are worrying. Because I know a lot of y'all will not admit that y'all are worrying, but y'all are worrying. And so let's look at why you don't have to stay up at night, why you don't have to worry so much. This is why I'm going to highlight this. And if anybody else got their Bible, we're going to go to the 91st Psalm really quick, and then I'm going to get off. But I do want to say this is going to help you. All right. So the 121st Psalm says, I lift my eyes to the hills. From where does my help come? This is the ESV version. My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He will not let your foot be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Right? Behold, he who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. Listen to this now. A lot of us, when we got things going on, we worrying and we're not sleeping well. We might go to sleep at night, but we wake up and we toss and turn and we walk the house and we scroll social media, all of that because we're trying to distract from the anxiety that we're feeling. So what this is saying is you don't have to do that. Some people feel bad if they're not worrying about something. You know what? Let me go even further. Some of us, hey mommy, some of us get upset with other people when they don't get worked up because we are. Like with all of this going on, some people are irritated with people because they're not anxious and they're not worked up and they say, oh, y'all being stupid. No, I'm washing my hands. I'm sanitizing. But what else can I do? Why do I have to be worked up? See, that is something that's that mirroring complex. And look, y'all can research everything I'm talking about. This is science behind this. When you see something, you are almost inclined to respond and act in that way, right? Good morning, Reverend. How you doing? Hey, Mila, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Y'all do me a favor, share with anyone that you think could benefit from this, right? So when you get around other people who are worked up and anxious, or I've had this happen a lot, people who are angry, when they're mad at somebody or something, they want you to be mad with them or upset with them. No. And what this is telling us is you don't have to stay up at night and worry, Lord, how we going to pay this bill? Lord, I just got this diagnosis and I can't even go to the doctor because of everything going on with coronavirus. Lord, my kids are crazy and they're not listening and they're not following directions. Lord, my relationship is in shambles. Or Lord, I just got a divorce. I don't know if I can be happy again. Lord, I'm going through a divorce. I don't know if it's going to work out. Lord, I whatever. Real life stuff, right? My manager is wanting me to do things that I know I shouldn't be doing, but I need my job. A lot of us are in these situations, right? And so what he's saying is you don't have to be moved. I will handle that. Go to sleep at night. Wake up with a plan. Have a to-do list, but I'm going to work this out for you. It says in verse 5, the Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade on your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore. A lot of us have not felt kept. right? A lot of us have been dropped. A lot of us have been neglected or abandoned or abused, especially in the realm of fathers, right? It's a lot of good fathers out there, even great fathers. You know, you can have one situation happen in your life and it can scar you in a way that hinders you from really being able to receive the love that you need. And so it keeps talking about the Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your keeper. He will keep you from all evil. He will keep your going out and your coming in. Because I have felt like I wasn't kept. I have felt at times. I've always known that people love me and cared about me, but because of the lack of healing, because of all the scar tissue, I talk about scar tissue in the book, right? Because of the scar tissue, it was blocking me being able to receive that love and to be able to show up the way I need to show up. You know, a lot of people, like, I wouldn't have been able to get on here and share with you my studying. This, like, my spiritual intimacy, like, I'm sharing this with you. Why am I doing this? Because when I'm praying, I really feel like there's people out there that feel like, I want to read my Bible, but I don't know what to do. Or I want to pray, but I'm not my grandmama. I don't go to church. No. Just take time. Just give God some of your time. It's an offering. It's a sacrifice. It's a seed. And that time that you give him, let me tell y'all something. You're going to have peace. I look at, man, it's people on here that can tell you a little bit of my story. I look back when this right here started, I did not budge. And I'm not sitting here acting like I'm just this and that. And people get on my nerve with that. I'm blessed in the Lord and whatever. I worry about stuff. I still flip out. I still get frustrated. I still get irritated. But the things that I've been going through the last 5 years and starting my company and being a wife and a mother and just showing up and being a purpose in the earth. When this happened, I was like, well, God, you're going to protect me. I mean, you got me this far. You sure ain't about to let Corona take me out. Right? Like, you're not going to let that happen. But I also understand that I can say that. Y'all laughing, but I am dead serious. I can also say that I can say that because I have been at the brink of everything you could just about think of. I have been embarrassed. I've been frustrated. I've been disappointed. I've been let down. I've failed, but I've kept trying. So my thing is, if I've done that all those other times, what's different now? So I want to encourage you. Transparently is healing for you and others. Exactly. Y'all know, I don't know. Sometimes my mom will say, don't tell all your business today. When you get on Heart Talk, because on Heart Talk, I go in even more. That's our space to do that. Look, it's a space for everybody to heal, and I'm in there, and I'm one of the everybody, and it's a place to heal. And I just felt like I had to get on here today and share some of this stuff because I don't hear enough people talking about it. I hear people saying, you know, we got to grow and we have to, but they don't share enough, in my opinion, about how they got to that point. Right? I had to realize my wicked ways. I had to realize my evil ways. Y'all laughing, but I'm so serious. I had to realize how manipulative I was. But to go deeper, why was I manipulative? Because I was trying to protect myself from being hurt. And when I realized that there are other ways to guard my heart versus being manipulative, now I don't have to do that. Right? So a lot of us, we act and behave in ways that we don't even understand why. But when we start to allow God to keep us, we can start to understand that. So I'm going to do one more. Y'all doing good? Is this too long for y'all? Y'all let me know. I'm just feeling it out. I'm just feeling it right now, though, because it's fun. And I know, are y'all getting anything out of this? Our moms, girl, you know our moms. And speaking of, please tell your mom I say hi. Please tell your mom I say hi. All right, the 91st Psalm. Now, I have seen this going around a lot. And when I first started reading, hold on, y'all, I'm about to burn my pot. Hold on. Ooh. I'm talking to y'all, and I did not... No, keep going. Okay, perfect. Thank y'all. I'm gonna keep going too. And the Reverend not tell me to keep going. Oh, I'm gonna keep going. All right. Thank you, Mommy. I gotta speak this truth. Y'all right. I was making my oatmeal and I was having so much fun. I almost boiled all the water out of the pot, y'all. So this is good for me too. So thank y'all for being here. So the 91st Psalm, right? I was still when I first started reading the Psalm, let me tell y'all something. I just, first of all, I didn't feel like I was even worthy enough to read the Bible, right? And I started reading it and it just jumped out at me, right? I prayed. I was like, I don't understand that stuff, God. I just want to be closer to you. Help me. And so I prayed and asked God to help me understand the Bible. So if you have that problem and you're not understanding the Bible when you read and you feel like you don't get it, then just pray and ask for understanding and believe that he'll give it to you. The power in what you believe is not in your words, it's in your actions. When you believe something, you act a way that you believe. Oh, okay, we good. So what I had to do was pray and ask God to, help me understand. And so this particular passage jumped out at me because I had a lot of haters at the time. And I was like, what? I didn't know the Bible talk about haters like that. See, I didn't see it like that. I had to speak it in my language. And I had to, hey Giovanna, I just had to speak it and understand it in a translation that I could get. And I think that's where we're missing it, especially with a lot of younger people, that it's not that they don't want to be better, it's that we're not speaking their language. And so I had to understand that for myself. And I kind of think about that too now with my kids. So the 91st Psalm, and it says, he who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. So right there, he who dwells, and my problem is hearing from him. Okay, Giovanna, we're going to talk about that, especially after my prayer time. Okay, perfect. I'm glad you said that because we'll touch on that as soon as I finish reading this. He who dwells, and this actually is going to answer your question, Giovanna. I mean, will kind of speak to what you just said. And y'all, I know many other people can relate to what Giovanna just said. It's like I don't hear him. And it says, he who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. Hearing God is going to almost, a lot of times when we hear from God, it's going to come from a quiet, still place. Or just a place that's still in our spirit. Let me be clear. The environment might not always be quiet, but your soul has to be quieted. And that's why I talk about the power of healing. Because there have been times where I've been in situations where it's a lot going on around me, but I hear from God very clearly because I have made up in my mind that I'm not going to be moved by what's going on around me. Right? And if this is making sense, please let me know. If not, I'm going to try to say it in a different way. So when it says, he who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. Well, dwelling in the shelter of the Most High. What's up, twin? How you doing? Dwelling in the shelter of the Most High does not necessarily have to mean, you just up in a closet in your room up under a prayer shawl, which is a good place to be to dwell. But realistically, we can't always doing that. Dwelling in the secret place of the Most High is like the state of your being, right? So I have been at work in a busy workplace, but I'm dwelling in him. That's why the Bible says to pray without ceasing. So it's kind of like practicing active meditation. It's like you staying in the space where you just focusing on God and everything is, Lord, I'm trying to see you. I'm not focusing, okay, this person is acting up with me. That person just said something out of line to me. Let me not let that disturb me or distract me. What are you using that to show me? What are you using that to tell me? So sometimes we don't hear, what's up? I got more twins on here. Hi, Tasha. How you doing? I think that's Tasha. How you doing? So, good morning. Thank y'all for being on here. Right now we're talking about hearing from God, and we're talking about the 91st Psalm and how ways that we can zero in and hear more of what God is telling us. So I just believe, and Giovanna, this may or may not be your situation. You more than welcome to inbox me or something later, and we can maybe talk or chat about it more too. But, excuse me, I know you're not the only one who feels that way. Anytime I feel like I'm not hearing from God and I'm distant, it's because I'm distracted, right? I might be socially distant from things, but I'm physically paying attention. Like I'm on Facebook too long, or I am, a situation is going on in my life that's bothering me, and instead of me dealing with it, I'm trying to like act like it's not there. It's like, I'm okay, I'll deal with that later, instead of just confronting it head on. And when I neglect to do those things, it's like I'm disconnected from God. Like the distractions and the pain, the hurt, the disappointments, the fear, the doubt, those things hinder us from hearing from God. So what am I saying? Offer offer all of these distractions as a sacrifice. So when it says, "He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty." When you think about dwelling, you're in. So you dwell in your home. So what I'm saying is, look at this season of social distancing right now to dwell in your home. But many of us are physically in our homes, but mentally and spiritually, we want to be at the park. We want to be at the movie. We want to be at this party. We want to be at this game. We want to be at work. The place we said we hated being until now we want to be at work. So be present where you are, and be present in how you're feeling, and give and talk to God about that. So when I'm feeling doubtful in my parenting, or in my relationships, or in my business, instead of me carrying that and acting like it's not there, I'm going to dwell. I'm going to dwell in God. I'm talking to God in my head, just like you thinking, what am I going to eat for dinner? I'm thinking, Lord, how are you using this situation in my life to help me? Right now it's tough. Right now I feel like a failure. Right now I can't see how I can get this right, but you know what? I'm trusting that you're going to work it out. And then move forward by faith. A lot of times hearing from God too is coming in that faith realm. We just have to trust and know that he's going to do it. So I hope that helps some. Good morning. Hey, Miss Snipe, how you doing? So I hope that helped with that thought, because I have a lot of people say, I feel like I'm not hearing from God. And I always tell them, a lot of times it's because you're not settled in your spirit. You can dress nice, you can smell good, you can look good, you can have your hair, nice lineup for the fellas. You can have baby hair. Shout out to Tasha. Thank you for getting the ebook. Thank y'all. Remember, the ebook is just $1. Help save me. Everything I'm talking about right now, my book highlights, and you can download it today for $1. $1. Read it right on your phone. And it's in the link if you want to do that. But you can be looking good, smelling good, your house is set, driving a nice car, and feel like trash. And that's what's happening with a lot of us. And so we can't stunt. We can't fake. We can't go out. Many of us have to go out places for other people to help us feel better about ourselves, right? And so we're in the season where we can't do that. We're stuck in the house. So what makes you worthy? What makes you valuable? What makes you important if it's not your stuff and it's not the letters behind your name as far as your degrees or your certifications? What is it? See, all of those things have been rocked to the core right now, and is making us look at the fact that God is supreme. And we have to look at him and say, what do you want from me? And be willing to be patient and listen. A lot of us want it now. And the healing is just not going to take place like that. So I just keep going back to healing. That's why I do heart coaching, life coaching, for matters of the heart. I found a lot of life coaches, they just want to help you do this and that, but it's not going to last. It might last for 6 months, but when I'm looking at, like the stuff I'm telling you, if you implement this is going to change your life. If you just slow down, if you start reading the scripture every day, just a little bit, 121st Psalm, it'll change your life. Let me finish reading this 91st Psalm. Then I'm getting off for real. I'm gonna go live again. And y'all let me know any other topics you want me to talk about. I know one topic that was given to me. Shout out to Lori. We're gonna be talking about how do you deal with family in a time like this. I'm dealing with it too. How do you deal with family in these times? And other things. But if y'all have topics you want to talk about, make sure you put it in my inbox or put it in the messages, and I'll definitely be checking in. But we're going to move forward. The 91st Psalm, now we at verse 3. It says, for he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler. Let me say this too. I didn't know what a fowler was. I knew what a snare was, but I didn't know what a snare was in reference to a fowler. So guess what I had to do? I had to use a dictionary when I was reading my Bible. It brought the Bible to life for me. Simple. Things we learn in elementary school. A lot of people like, I don't understand that. You know how to look up a word, right? Look the definition up. Then apply the definition to what you are reading. It's going to change your life. I can promise you. So he says, for he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with his pinions, and under his wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness is a shield and buckler. Right? His faithfulness is a shield. See, we want a physical shield. We want to wear hazmat suits. Nothing wrong with that. I know that's necessary right now, but in the spirit, we want to do that. See, a lot of us, you see how those doctors and nurses look all covered up? That's how we go into relationships with our significant others. That's how we go into relationship with family and friends. That's how we go into business. A lot of times we go in guarded in the spirit like that, and then we wonder why we don't have the connections we need to have, and we don't go as deep as we need to go, or we can't go as far as we need to go. It's because we're putting our faith in everything else but God. And this thing says, this is why faith is important. His faithfulness is a shield and buckler. Well, if you don't believe in his faithfulness, then you're not covered by it. And so, yes, I'm telling you to believe in something that seems invisible. Yes, I'm telling you. But what else can you trust in right now? The government? What you going to trust in? You can't go. The church is in us. You can't physically go to a building right now. Many of us can't. So this is what this all you got. This is how I see it. This is all I got. This is all I got. And guess what? This is all I need. He says, you will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in darkness, nor the destruction that wastes at noonday. That's what we're living through right now. Pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the destruction that wastes at noonday. This is my favorite one. This is what caught me when I was still just living just out there. This thing caught my attention and saved my life. It said, 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only look with your eyes and see the recompense of the wicked. No, I'm not saying that everybody dying from corona is wicked. I'm not saying that. But what this Bible says is 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it won't come near you. So when you trust in his faithfulness, you can be standing in a crowd of people that just drop from something that won't touch you. Why? Because he's covering you. And then I'm going to jump to the end. Verse 14, this is what the Lord's response is to the faith of dwelling in the secret place and trusting in him. He says, verse 14, because he holds fast to me in love, I will deliver him. I will protect him because he knows my name. When he calls to me, I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will rescue him and honor him. With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. What am I saying? Good morning, good morning. Amen, Chandelier. All right, Reverend. That's the truth, right? This is what he says. Because, right? It's in response to your faith. He says, because you hold fast to me in love, not because that's what everybody else is doing, not in love, because you hold fast to me in love, this is what I'm doing for you. This is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to protect you because you know my name. I'm going to deliver you. When you call on me, I'm going to answer you. I'm going to be with you in trouble. I'm going to rescue you and honor you. I'm going to satisfy you with a long life, and I'm going to show you my salvation. So what did that also let us know? It didn't say we weren't going to have trouble. He said, I'll rescue you. You don't need to be rescued if you're not going through something. And you're right. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Thank you, Preachy. Hebrews 11:1. And then if you go to Hebrews 11:6, it says, but without faith, it's impossible to please God. So we need faith in this time. I've been on this live for however long, for an hour, to tell y'all we need faith in this time. We need faith in this time. We need faith in God, and we need faith in ourselves in God. See, the problem is a lot of us have faith in God. We don't have faith in ourselves, right? I don't do this because I'm good enough. right? I don't do this because I'm perfect and my life is just peachy keen, right? Peachy, and my life is just perfect and I'm just flying on a cloud someplace because I'm so holy. No, that ain't me. You're going to have to keep your girl in prayer. Yes, I have to repent daily like everybody else, not making light of it. But the reason why I say that is I can do this because of the faith that I have in God. Like, I have faith in God that allows me to share that faith with you. Because what I also realize is we all need each other at this time. I need your faith. I hope some of y'all planning on going live and sharing some good words and uplifting and encouraging us. Because it's necessary, right? It's important. And y'all see Christopher? He can come back now. For anybody who was here earlier. He good to go now. Yes, sir.
Can I have something to eat?
Yes, we're getting ready. See, I'm on live. See, that's distraction, right? I should be feeding my child. I should be feeding my family. I'm on Facebook. I just played. But we're getting ready. I'm actually getting ready to go and get my homeschooling started for all the homeschooling parents out there. How y'all feeling? Teachers, y'all all right? And I thank y'all for being here. I thank y'all for taking this time. Remember, if you want to know how can you start this healing process, of course, pick up your Bible and read it. I don't understand it. Get the dictionary. Look up some words. Ask God to teach you what you need to know. Secondly, I would love for you to download a copy of my book, Help Save Me from My Broken Heart, Your Journey to Living and Loving Again. It's only $1. $1. But what it is going to do to change your life, I can promise you, you can't put a dollar amount on it. And this is just the feedback that I've gotten from people who have read it and how it has really shifted their lives and really helped them be able to work through some of the most difficult times. And it's not a long read, but it's definitely a transformational read. And that's what Heart Connections is all about. The heart is for healing, enlightenment, authenticity, revitalization, and transformation. And I pray that I shared all of that with you guys today. I will be going live more frequently, so be on the lookout. In the morning times, I'll let y'all know when I'm going live. I'll put it in the stories or put it on a post. Share this. If this helped you, I'm sure to help somebody else. Make sure to download a copy of the book and do me a favor, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm gonna go and put that in the post as well. So thank y'all for being here. I love y'all. Getting it today. I know that's right, Javonna. Well, they're all on there. And you can get everything online as well. I'll put the link for my other book. You know what? I'm gonna put Anchored as an ebook. I'm gonna work on that this week, y'all, because Anchored is a daily devotional that really, really will help you too. I feel like Anchor and Help go together because when you read Help, you're gonna need Anchored for that daily devotion. Because Help, I'm gonna tell you now, it's gonna pull from you, right? That book is going to pull. I like to let people know ahead of time. You're going to face yourself in the mirror. And a lot of people are like, I had to put it down. I couldn't keep reading it. I feel like we can't run. Now is the time. So I love y'all. This is Adelai Brown, your heart coach, signing off. Have a great day. And remember, social distancing, emotional honesty, spiritual intimacy, and wash your hands.